Good things, they come in pairs. Don't believe me? What about Twix? Those come in pairs, right? Hashtag right Twix for the win. Or Kit Kats, they also come in pairs. What about Reese's Peanut Butter Cups? Those come in pairs too. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, we haven't completely flipped the script on you here and started selling candy bars at Custom Offsets, although like, that'd be pretty cool because I do love me some candy bars, but you know, who doesn't love a good old-fashioned Reese's Peanut Butter Cup? And much like that chocolatey peanut butter-filled goodness that is the holy grail of candies, there's also a truck that comes in pairs. Kind of. But why would you need one? Who on earth thought this was a good idea in the first place? I'm Dustin with the Custom Offsets. You guys can follow me on Instagram at dusty.co, and today we're going over dually trucks and just why you might want one. Let's do it. All right, so side note before we get started in this whole debacle, I freaking love dually trucks, dude. Like, I just can't explain how or what or why makes me love them so damn much, but I love them. They're wide, they're nasty, they're rated to tow like 30,000 pounds. What more could a guy want? Maybe it's just like the inner farm kid in me or something that just wants like big wheels and rolling on the gravel and hauling stuff around. I don't really know, but what I know is that I love dually trucks. And while that's not super relevant to the video, I just wanted to get this one out there because, well, you just gotta understand that that's why we're carrying so much energy in this video. They just do it for me. But where did dually trucks come from? Well, the exact origin is unknown. We can say for certain that before 1973, a dually truck didn't really exist. Sure, yeah, you could go down to your local truck dealer and get a cab with dual rear wheels on the chassis, but it didn't come with a bed as it was considered a commercial vehicle. Instead, they came from the factory with either just a flatbed or with no bed at all, leaving you to your own devices. That all changed, however, in 1973 when General Motors introduced what would become the first dually pickup truck ever. See, before then, pickup manufacturers had not yet paired a heavy-duty dual-wheel chassis with a pickup bed because, you know, the wheels would have like stuck up past the bed sides, right? GM's solution to this was a set of fiberglass over fenders that mimicked the shape of the step-side beds, except was wider and went on the outside to cover up the tires. These new wider fenders would allow GM to begin producing a dual-wheeled pickup truck, and it set the world on fire. Now, I know it seems simple, right? But at the time, nothing like this existed, and people absolutely ate it up. Suddenly, farmers, ranchers, race car drivers, and weekend warrior campers could get a truck built heavy enough to haul even the toughest of cargo, while also being practical and comfortable for daily driving. Perhaps one of the best things General Motors did when it came to dually trucks was that they promoted it, and they promoted it heavy. Rather than hide it out on the back page of their brochures, General Motors plastered this thing everywhere. Literally everywhere. Everywhere. Which only further fueled customer buying fire. To add icing to the cake, it would take Ford until 1980 to produce their first dually, meaning that GM had a whopping 8 years, yes, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 8 years of owning the marketplace for this type of pickup. Dodge would also follow suit shortly after and make their own dually to compare with the other two, because that's just how it works. When one guy makes it, then the other guy makes it, then the other guy makes it, and then they just get into this weird like back and forth thing where this, you know, mine's better, no, mine is better. It's like the scene from the Adam Sandler movie, right? Shampoo, conditioner.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
So what makes a dually truck different from an SRW or single rear wheel truck, right? Well, to address the elephant in the room, dually trucks, they typically start with, get this, right? They have 2 rear wheels, because dually, right? Meaning 2. Typically, these wheels are much narrower than a standard wheel, usually coming in at like 8 1/4 to 8 1/2 inches wide, and they have a much different offset than those wheels of their single rear wheel counterparts. This is due to the way the rear tires sit on the rear axle, meaning that one of the rears must be dished extremely inwards, like this, while the other must be dished extremely outwards like this. Aside from the painful obvious point that is, the biggest difference when it comes to dually trucks is the tow capacities. While a brand new Ram 3500 single rear wheel truck is rated for like 22,600 pounds of towing capacity, a brand new 3,500 dually truck with the right options is rated from the factory somewhere around 37,000 pounds. Yes, you heard that right. That's 16 freaking tons of towing capacity. You know, just in case that you wanted to, like, I don't know, move a whole house down the road at once or something, like, it's actually an option. In addition to the added towing capacity, dually trucks generally get higher engine output, usually because of the higher towing capacity. Again, in the case of the Ram dualies here, the difference is staggering, with the 6.7 Cummins high output putting out an additional 50 horsepower and 200 pound-feet of torque over its standard output. Brother, that's a lot of torque. Like, my first car didn't even make 200 foot-pounds of torque, and it's just an engine upgrade. It's wild. If you're new on the channel and this is your first time with us, then hey, welcome. We're thrilled to have you here and truly appreciate you guys stopping by. We started Custom Offsets way back in 2013 because we knew just how hard it was to find out what fits your trucks. For that reason, we created this whole gallery, which is full of nearly, like, I don't know, 100,000 custom trucks that feature all sorts of details. We're talking wheel and tire sizes, lift details, and even trimming details to find out what exactly you're gonna need to cut up to figure out how you can stuff 40s on your Silverado. Side note, it doesn't work very well. The square wheel well thing, GM it's just not good. Also, if you find a set of wheels and tires that you like, but summer has you feeling a little strapped for cash, no sweat. We've got financing on all our wheel and tire packages as low as 0%, meaning that you can still pick up your wheels in time for the next show. Whoever's going to LTN, I will see you there. It's gonna be a great time. You guys can check all of that out by hitting the link down in the description or just going to customoffsets.com. So tell me, why would you buy a dually over a regular single rear wheel truck? Well, much like we discussed before, perhaps the biggest reason to choose a dually truck would be for towing purposes. Now, not only are they rated for quite a bit more weight, but dually trucks are generally going to be more stable if you're towing bigger trailers, like say a 40+ foot race car hauler, or even some of those massive fifth wheel campers that millennials love to buy. Listen, I get the whole being comfortable thing, but it's basically a house on wheels. Besides that, dually trucks look fantastic in my humble opinion, and they do nasty burnouts with the 4 rear tires. This is where the guys can put in like some clips and some big old double 11s just down the road because it looks awesome. Dualies are popular with hotshot truckers, farmers and ranchers, and of course the welding rigs guys who usually lift them, throw some mud grips on them, and then hot rod the shit out of them going down the pipeline build sites. I know a lot of guys that use their trucks, but I don't know if I've ever met anyone that uses their trucks as much as the welding rig guys do. Having a dually isn't all rainbows and unicorns though. For as awesome as they are for towing and handling, the additional rolling resistance does cause them to, generally speaking, get lower fuel economy than their single rear wheel counterparts. Additionally, dualies are going to be more expensive right off the bat than a single rear wheel truck, and they definitely don't ride as nice as a single rear wheel truck would due to the upgraded towing capacity and thus usually stiffer springs and suspension to handle all that dang weight. Besides all of that though, wheel and tire fitment on these trucks can be a bit of a headache just because there's 6 wheels and literally all 6 of them are different. On the rear axle, the inner wheels are different than the outers, and they're usually just a generic steel or aluminum wheel, as you don't see them anyway. They just sit on the inside, right? Where the magic happens is on the outers. Inner wheels also usually have a super high offset to tuck that tire in there under the bed. The outers, on the other hand, like we said, is where it gets flashy, as the low offset required to get these wheels to fit properly allows you to get a massive lip. Like, lip. Big. In terms of front wheels, guys typically either run a standard dually wheel, which is again tucked into the under the side of the truck and is going to keep your turn radius relatively tight, or they go on the complete opposite side of things. They ball up for the gram and throw a 10 or a 12 wide up front, so you get a massive offset and thus a big old front lip right on your front wheels because it's just a standard 12 wide. Both of them can look really great in my opinion. It really depends on the build. To further complicate things, if you want to run an aftermarket or oversized tire, you need to take into consideration the offset of the wheels in the rear. Running a 1250 or 1350 tire may require you to run a spacer in the rear to avoid your tires touching, because touching tires is a big old nope running down the highway. You get like friction and then like stuff starts on fire. It's not fun. It's not fun. What do you guys think about dually trucks? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Would you own one? Or better yet, let me know down in the comment section below if you think that I should buy one, as it's been on my mind for a hot minute now. And as always, if you need wheels and tires for your dually, your half ton, your 3/4 ton, your quarter ton, your light duty, you know, whatever it is, we got you. CustomOffsets.com. We mount and we balance and we ship them for free. Like I said, you guys can check that all out. CustomOffsets.com. With that, we'll see you in the next one.